That's right. That's right. That's what we do here on this Throwback Thursdays. You know, if you hear that good music, it's got to be Throwback Thursdays with your man Rory T. Edwards. Today we start off with a little Denroy Morgan talking about I'll do anything for you. Why is that? Because today we're talking about don't bite the hand that feeds you. Now, so many people heard this expression growing up. We don't know what's going on. You know, Facebook be trying to cause you to close down your session because they said that you're using music that somebody else owns, but we're not using music for monetary purposes. We're using music for entertainment purposes only. So we just want to say that that statement that don't bite the hand that feeds you has so many different meanings to it. It really means that you are disrespectful towards someone that has helped you or is currently helping you out of troubled waters. And so it says that if someone's doing something respectfully for you, you should definitely accept the compliment, accept the favor, and actually respect the gesture. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little different twist on it today. I'm going to put a little different twist on it. I'm going to talk about three things that I think uh, have changed from when that statement was first established. And the first one I want to talk about is a generational change of entitlement. Now, some of you may not know exactly what I'm talking about, but most of you may. A generational change of entitlement means that you believe that someone owes you something for something that you have not earned or something that you don't deserve. It's really about my saying you can't withdraw what you did not deposit. Now, I work around a lot of individuals and some younger people. I'm not saying that younger people shouldn't have their own mind or have their own expression of what they want. But you got to understand that everything in this world, everything that comes to you comes through the work that you put in, the foundation that you build it on, that gives you that particular respect, that gives you the validity, that gives you all of the things that people will qualify you for to be that authority. So when we talk about that, we're talking about the generational change of entitlement that you owe me something, that you must give it to me. You have to give it to me. Uh, People come straight out of some training and they want to be the CEO. You haven't worked enough, you haven't put in enough time to become the CEO. And so you can't get mad because in reality, that's going to be the hand that is feeding you. And so if you bite that particular hand, you could also be ostracized out of the business. You can be ostracized out of the job. You can be ostracized out of just moving forward in your agenda because of that thought process of entitlement. But that's something for you all to think about. Well, let's move to the second one. Something that we're talking about now. Everybody's talking about get out and vote. I'm going to mention it at the end of this session. People are talking about we need to get out and vote so we can change the policies and the regulations that our government is actually doing. Well, in reality, you ask the question: is the government really responsible for taking care of you? Why is the government based? Why should the government take care of you? There were some things that were implemented that has caused major destruction to the African American family in 1964, called the Moynihan Report, which actually put in all of social uh, the social usage of programs that have eliminated the family structure. And those things right now are put in place because we believe that for generations, some people have allowed the government to dictate how their family is governed and how their family is controlled and how their family moves through their monetary gifts. And so we ask that because we say that the government, the Constitution starts off with we the people. But when you look at we the people, you got to realize who was in the room when they wrote that. We the people. Uh, Everybody who's in this country is not considered or has not been uh, brought to the table when we talk about we the people. So when we talk about pushing back, well, the government and that the voting is going to change the leadership within our government. We can change the leadership all we want. But if we don't make sure we change the policies, or if we don't sit down and rewrite the governing document, which makes us we the people. And if we the people are not at the table, then we the people will continue to be what we were classified in that Constitution as what's the word I'm looking for? Sophisticated animals. And so, if you look at the Constitution and we're wanting these rights and we're wanting all these things, for all of these years since the Constitution has been written, we've been considered sophisticated animals. There's never been an amendment to the Constitution which incorporates us into the same uh, uh, parallel lanes that those who wrote the Constitution feel that we deserve the same rights as them based on those laws. So yes, the vote does count. I guess it's going to count. But once you vote, what do you do after that? You don't sit down. You have to also make sure that the people that you put in office make those particular changes. And one of those changes is to galvanize a group of individuals who will push the individuals in Congress and in the Senate to make sure that they revisit that Constitution so that some of you all who are out here protesting, some of you all out who are starting these movements will get the narrative changed so that you become more than a sophisticated animal. That's point number 2. Let's go to number 3. Physical and emotional abuse. Now we know that there's one of the biggest concerns in America is physical and emotional abuse, and during this time of the pandemic, it has increased 300%. That's some of the numbers I saw yesterday. That it's increased 300% in some of the physical and mental abuse. But there's individuals who are taking care of the family. There's individuals who believe that because I am the breadwinner, that you must adhere to my direction, and that the physical or the mental abuse is not because I don't love you, it's because that I'm feeding you. And so when they talk about don't bite the hand that's feeding you, I just gave you 3 examples of why in some cases you need to bite that hand off that's feeding you. Because in reality, what's going to happen is that if you don't react to that hand that's feeding you, and the hand that's feeding you is being detrimental to your growth, then it could really be not a positive thing. So the one thing that I want to leave you with is that the statement was meant to be that if somebody does something sincere, some very sincere gesture out of their heart, that you need to not bite the hand that feeds you, because there are people who really care about your advancement. There's people who care about your agenda, and there's people who truly care about your well-being. And so when they say don't bite the hand that feeds you, look at the circumstances for which the hand that is feeding you, what's the outcome and what are the objectives of the individual or the organization or the situation that is feeding you. Is it feeding you to fatten you up for slaughter, or is it feeding you so that you're able to continue on this journey in your agenda to be successful? Well, that's all I have today. I'm going to be real short. Really want you all to, early voting is started in most places. I want you to get out. I want you to vote. I want you to make your voice heard, but I want you to consider what your actions will be after you place your vote and after November 3rd, when that person is selected to lead the country. How are you going to galvanize in your communities? How are you going to galvanize amongst your circle of influence that you make a difference in changing the narrative, which does not allow everybody in this country to be considered equal? With that said, this is your man Rory T. Edwards. If you didn't get an opportunity to check me out today, please listen on Saturday. We will have the YouTube link that you can go listen to it at. And then if you get an opportunity, please go to my YouTube link, Rory T. Edwards, and then you could like and subscribe to my channel. And there's many more Throwback Thursdays if you didn't have an opportunity to listen to them in the past, or there may be some other speeches and conversations that I've had over the course of my journey that may be of interest to you. So go to YouTube, Rory T. Edwards. But this is what I always want you to do. I want you to stay conscious. I want you to stay aware of what's going on in your circumstances, but I definitely want you to stay woke. And in the process of staying woke, stay prepared for what's coming in the future. But make sure you are on the front lines of making your future the most beneficial future you can have. So until we talk, Your man Rory T. Edwards sending you out with a little bit of Denroy Morgan again. I'll do anything for you. I don't mind being useful, but I refuse to be used. Definitely check me out. Your man Rory T. Edwards. Go to RoryTEdwards.com. Check us out. We do a lot of things that can help you move your agenda to the next level. Until we talk again, you all be well. Stay safe, but stay woke.